Hi everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to Advanced Child Development. I'm very excited to be teaching this course as the concepts are very much linked to my orientation to research and pedagogy. Um, I'll start this conversation by giving you some insight into my own research and then I'll move into a discussion about the course text and content. I'm currently living in Cuenca, Ecuador, working on a project with the Common Worlds Research Collective that I think embodies many of the key concepts of this course. I'm working at a childcare center here. We're thinking with educators about social transformation through pedagogies of place to disrupt neoliberal rationalities of progress and production that so often inform our educational practices. In this course, we'll be discussing and unpacking neoliberalism, what it does, how it functions, and how it is deeply related to theories and technologies of child development. Specifically, my focus here in Ecuador is on waste materials. Attending to the transformative possibilities of the arts, the children, educators, and I aim to artfully reimagine our relations with waste materials in times of its explosive and catastrophic growth. Yet we do this in ways which aim to disrupt Western notions of recycling that perpetuate a guilt-free consumer, keeping waste out of sight and out of mind. Rather, we are staying with waste and considering what it might mean to stay with the trouble, as Darna Haraway would say, and to cultivate caring relations with waste materials toward new accountabilities and responsibilities to the places in which we live. So attending to the structures of developmental psychology has been a key entry point into this project. It's very close to the nature of this course. We aim to disrupt neoliberal notions of progress and production and accumulative ways of knowing and being toward other more possible ways of knowing childhood's place and pedagogy. So with this said, I think the content and course readings are very close to my heart and to this project. I read the Berman text at the beginning of my studies, and it has grounded much of my work since then. This book takes a critical, deconstructive lens to childhoods and education, yet I also find it inspiring and hopeful. I remember feeling very stretched as a student reading this book. So something to consider is that with new ways of knowing childhoods, pedagogy, and the worlds in which we live comes tension. When I began reading and experimenting with these ideas and considering how they might take shape on the ground pedagogically, I found myself bumping up against a lot of walls that I hadn't noticed before. And I think that this was the beginnings of my feminist consciousness in both professional and personal spaces. I noticed the intensity of a feminist question and the vulnerability and courage it takes to notice and ask about why it is we do the things we do, taken for granted assumptions that often go unnoticed, and the kinds of world that they produce, who they favor and who they silence. And also how I'm implicated in the ongoing construction and operations of these processes. This is something that I think we'll really pay attention to in this course, how this material is situated within our own pedagogies and life worlds. In this course, we'll pay attention to child development, its structural histories and processes in our field, what they do and why they matter. So with that said, though this course, we will be troubling and challenging some of the narratives of developmental psychology, I want to stress that we're not suggesting that we abandon child development altogether. I think it's important to highlight that we're not taking an either-or approach to thinking with child development, but rather, as Pasini-Ketchabau and Pence argue in one of our upcoming readings, this course asks how we might pay attention to and question the ways in which we work toward a both-and approach to pedagogy. In the PowerPoint this week, I wrote that this work is as important as it is hard. And if it's not hard, we're not asking the right questions. So my intention here in this course with you is to read slowly, work together in collaboration, use our virtual spaces, the forums, Skype, email, to connect with each other through the work. And think through some of the challenging concepts together in relation with each other. So on Sunday, September 9th, from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be hosting a group chat on Moodle to discuss some of your initial questions about the assignments, about the course content, or some of the policies. So if you could look over the outline and the assignments before that time, I think it would generate a good conversation, and we can address some of your questions. So also be sure to check the weekly pages on Moodle for weekly exercises. Most of the exercises will be due on the Friday of that week to allow time for you to respond and share your responses with others by Sunday. I will post the readings, questions, PowerPoints, and assignments on those weekly pages, those weekly tabs on Moodle. So just to finish up, if needed, I am more than happy to set up a Skype appointment with all of you if you feel like you need support at any point during the course. Please feel free to email me and reach out if you're feeling concerned about anything in the course, if you have questions about the content, or if something just isn't making sense. I also encourage you to take advantage of the general questions forum on Moodle to share your questions and jump in if you think you have an answer to one of your peers. So at this point, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the semester with you all and getting to know you a little bit more. And yeah, have a great week. Thanks, everyone.